Woo! These new Xbox 2 specs leaked, and of course, I've got to talk about it. Because if true, Xbox 2 is on an absolutely crazy level of performance that many people never saw coming. And it could actually mean big trouble for the PlayStation 5. And whether or not you want to admit it, a lot of Sony fans really want the PlayStation 5. There's a reason that search activity is really high on the PlayStation 5. Tons of Sony fans want to know about next generation performance. How much power are they getting? And you know what? We're no different over here on the Xbox side. Xbox 2 been clamoring for some official information, and the most reliable source of the past several months has spoken out about Xbox 2's performance. And yes, it spells big trouble for PlayStation 5. Now, first and foremost, yes, we did cover this leak on last night's RDX. If you missed it, it's down below. Tons of gaming topics there, but we have a ton of people that don't watch the podcast and just watch the normal sized videos. And that's understandable. So of course there were comments asking me to cover some of this in a video. Secondly, I got 1,000 DMs from people saying, hey, Brad Sams, this industry insider, this guy that has connections, just confirmed your theory from 5 months ago. That is absolutely the case. We'll get into that. So thank you guys for the messages. I'm happy to oblige. Here is a video covering the most recent Xbox 2 leaks that spell big trouble for anybody that think Microsoft are just sitting there doing nothing. So it's true, Brad did confirm several different things according to his sources. Now keep in mind, this is the same guy that leaked Halo Infinite, the discless Xbox you're going to hear about very soon, I'm told, and so much more. Long story short, he's got connections and they are pretty accurate. Secondly, he confirmed something that's going to be mind-blowing to anybody that's been watching this channel for longer than 5 months. He confirms that my crazy theory about dual APU setups in 2 different launch model consoles for 2020 is actually true. Not only that, they're being powered by Zen 2 and Navi. So let's break this down and start piece by piece. Now we'll begin by playing a simple clip from a video I made 5 months ago, and honestly, I explained everything pretty well then. Microsoft could potentially launch next generation Xboxes with the GPU or something slightly faster than the Xbox One X, just with the addition of Ryzen cores instead of Jaguar cores, and get away with that 100% scot-free. So to sum it up, there would be 2 SKUs of the next generation Xbox come 2020-2021. The base model would have maybe a 6 or 7 teraflop GPU. The higher end model, which would probably clock in at about $100 more expensive, would have anywhere from 10 to 12 teraflops in its GPU capability. But importantly, both models would share those Ryzen APU cores, meaning neither of them are held back from doing what I believe the next generation are really going to focus on: animations, physics, AI, simulation, geometry, all of these things that you need a great CPU to tackle. So there you have it. That is essentially being confirmed for Xbox 2. Yes, I know, absolutely insane. As I said in the video 5 months ago, which I have linked down below, that theory was really crazy, off the wall, and nobody was talking about it until my buddy Cold Eastwood made a video several months later, kind of reiterating what I said in that video and doing a great job at it. Point is, it's looking like that's actually happening, which is still crazy to me. And in that video 5 months ago, I covered Brad Sand's then current leak, where he confirmed a traditional style console for the Xbox 2 in 2020, but also a streaming box or a streaming console. After talking about that for the first half of that video, in the back half, that's where I bring in my own personal theory about 2 launch consoles with 2 different power level APUs, 2 different prices, one of them being faster than the PS5, one of them being slower than the PS5. Like I said, it's all linked down below. Check that video out. And that's what Brad is confirming here, that's happening. I gotta reiterate that once more. Expect to see dual setups on day 1 with Xbox 2. Maybe you only want to spend $350. You get the 7 teraflop APU with next generation CPU cores, more RAM, much more capable than Xbox One X, volumetrics destruction, higher frame rates on bigger, more detailed open worlds, and one of the massive ones is physics. Drastic improvements to physics in video games coming due to these new CPU cores alone, whereas the higher end model is for those that want the absolute best that any console in existence can offer, but of course at a premium. There you will most likely see higher resolutions that are native, perhaps better effects as well, maybe even much faster storage. With a higher price point, they can command those types of things. And that's crazy. Now that we got all of that out of the way, Brad also confirms or says that his sources are telling him these are Zen 2 generation APU cores. Now that in itself is impressive as well. Zen 2 is said to be about 25% faster than Zen 1, and honestly, just Zen 1 is a quantum leap over the current Jaguar cores that we have in the Xbox and PlayStation 4. If they're going to go Zen 2, that's even more impressive, and it shows that they're going above and beyond to keep these machines relevant for far longer than any other consoles ever before. I've said it over and over, these will be the most balanced consoles in history, meaning fewer bottlenecks. I mean, look at this Battlefield 5 footage. It looks insane, and that's running on an Xbox One X with Jaguar cores in it. You can only imagine what these games are going to look like in the next couple years. So Zen 2 is great. Will they be using SMT on this thing? That would be absolutely insane, meaning you're getting 16 threads on an 8-core CPU. That would really take it to the next level and enable developers to really go crazy on these games. But even just an 8-core, 8-thread machine is a monster with this kind of CPU core over current gen consoles. So honestly, I'm fine either way. Now another big one Brad confirms here is Navi for the Xbox brand. Previously, we had a lot of people running with these rumors that Sony had an entire AMD architecture locked down to their console for some reason. What in anyone's right mind would make them believe that AMD are going to give them a whole generation of APUs and GPUs to use exclusively on their console? I have no clue at all. But Brad does say Navi is basically confirmed for the Xbox too. Now, I had mentioned before that it doesn't matter what architecture they're running with the Xbox because Phil has already confirmed they're going to have the fastest kit next generation. It could be a Vega Navi hybrid, or just a Vega. Either way, they'll find a way to make it the fastest if that's what Phil says they're doing. But it turns out they're using Navi, which is great. Less power draw, smaller node. You can run these things at higher clocks. I mean, the Xbox One X is already running at almost 1200 megahertz on the GPU, which is extremely impressive for a console at 245 watts. So it'll be interesting to see how high they push Xbox 2, and I think it's things like this that are going to separate PS5 and Xbox 2 even more so. Who is going to go that extra mile to find the best cooling solution to get those extra megahertz and the highest frequency to make the biggest difference in games? Who's going to do these custom things to their platform to give it the edge? Who is going to find a way to implement some kind of ray tracing? That's the big question. They've never done any of this before. So they could be taking this opportunity to say, hey, if you're a console gamer, you want the absolute best, something that competes with PCs, because they do. Look at this footage. But even more so, then we have a high-end Xbox for you that gives you basically some very good bells and whistles. So yes, it's all extremely interesting, and for those wondering why wouldn't you have different SKUs with different hard drive sizes, I want a 5 terabyte Xbox too. No, they're probably not going to do anything like that. Like I explained in my video link down below from 5 months ago, external storage is just too accessible. You plug it in, you go. Upgrade your console, unplug your external storage from the old console, plug it into the new console, and go. It's that simple. There's no point in them wasting store shelves and their own time putting different hard drive sizes in different boxes when everyone's already invested in external storage anyway. Besides, if they did put a 2 or 3 terabyte in your Xbox 2, you're going to fill that thing up super quick anyway, and you're just going to end up playing half your games on an external that you already own anyway. So like I said, if you haven't invested in external storage, now is the time. It is extremely easy. Anybody can do it. Tons of tutorials. Highly recommended. And once more, guys, according to the latest, what I'm hearing, 2020 for Xbox 2. So look forward to that and look forward to some very insanely interesting information as we head into 2019 and beyond. So yeah, guys, check out the link down below for the last RDX for my video predicting pretty much all of this 5 months ago. I don't know if you realize, but if this is true, keep in mind it could be wrong, but if this is true, you just heard about what's happening in 2020. You just heard about their big reveal 2 years before it happened, and you heard it here on this channel. So yes, I do appreciate those who have stuck around. Hit that like button if you learned something today. Share this with as many people as you can. Subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff, or if you want to be up on the latest and greatest news regarding next generation hardware. Stick around for the Patreon message. I'm Dealer. I'm out. Hey, we cannot forget about the amazing patrons behind this channel. They are responsible for the content that you just watched and the content you will probably watch next. Thank you so much for what you do, and for those that want to join the party, for as little as $1 a month, you can do quite a bit to ensure content like this remains as ad-free as possible. It's easy to join. Click the link down below, and the $3 and up tier are eligible for all kinds of awesome AAA games. We just gave away Red Dead Redemption 2, Battlefield 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and so many more. We've also got tiers for creators as well. If you're looking to get a little bit of spotlight on you, check that link down below. Thank you guys so much. I'm out.